Members of the UN include pronounced terror above Syria proper CEO of the meeting on Disarming, Compact, in Geneva. The go comes fair weeks following the newest informed chemistry arms assault, in that the Syriac authorities are wide believed to include utilized chemistry agents versus civilian population. This UK deplores the reality how Syria will suppose the chairmanship of the meeting on Disarming, taking into account the mode's consecutive and blatant neglect of world non-proliferation and disarming norms and agreements, told a declaration by UK diplomatic corps. Meantime, Robert Timber, Washington's envoy in Geneva, tweeted, Monday, May 28 will be one of the darkest days in the story of the meeting on Disarming in Syria start its 4-persons week chairmanship. The Damascus mode has no one the trust nor ethical credibility to chair above the CD. The world society must not be quiet. In an overture, he named on Russia to ask Syria to move towards. How circulation appears to include met in no answer. So is a social relations calamity for the joint nations? A mark the flesh is unsuccessful? UN officials include been tiredly indicating out how the rotary chairmanship framework was invented by term state, mainly to hinder more than strong countries always jockeying for stance. Syria conducted above of Switzerland just since it follows Switzerland in the alphabetic listing of term state. And the meeting on Disarming is not though a UN flesh, but holds its meetings at the UN in Geneva. Though the Secretariat General oneself cannot changing the framework, told one UN formal. It has to be modified by term state. However, it was the CD that carefully agreed the convention prohibiting chemistry arms, that was signed by Syria. The perspective of Syria meeting in the CEO's armchair, while down there is common testimony how it has utilized nervous system gas versus its own human beings, is to lot human beings disgusting. So is down there a way to hinder Syria take up the chairmanship? Not readily, as the UK acknowledges after on in its declaration, indicating out how it would need unanimity among all CD members. Syria turned on, for Syria not to get on the chairmanship, so we cannot halt how event which we will do is provide the Syriac chairmanship cannot cause harm on the job of the meeting of Disarming and its affiliate bodies. Rather which activity the UK, the US, or some term state are planner to get remnant not clear, although it is anticipated how future expressions of anxiety will be sounded for the meeting on Tuesday enabling the Syriac chairmanship cannot cause harm on CD job will not be too hard. The CD has been stalled on all main issues for lot year currently, thing UN Secretariat General Antonio Guterres mourned fair recent 1 week, indicating out how it had manufactured really slight for many decades, and inviting for it be reinvigorated. But one item the CD did make is how Convention on Chemistry Arms, and out of how Convention came the Organization for the Preventive of Chemistry Arms, OPCW. The OPCW is studying Syria on multiple counts, and believes how chemistry arms were utilized, or were more than rather than potential to include been utilized, in 14 cases so distant. Each solitary use is a criminality by World Act. Common utilize, of that down there is testimony in Syria, is potential a criminality versus humanist. So Syria may sit in the ceremonious CEO's armchair for 4-persons weeks in Geneva, presiding officer above a flesh that has no press industry up it, but it win tea, in the speech of one disarming analysis be let off the crochet.